This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. The final press conference here for Joe Joyce's fight with Whyte-Jennings, also Brian Gorman, this Saturday night live on BT Sport from the O2. I'm joined by manager extraordinaire Sam Jones.
How you doing, KUGAN? It's been a long time coming, this one, hasn't it? I've not felt the best this week, KUGAN, no, but I'm on the road to recovery.
This has been a long time coming, Sam. We haven't spoke to each other. We speak on the phone every day.
It's a bit your fault, really, KUGAN. I'm joking. My fault was Vegas. The last few weeks has been your fault.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Got a problem, mate.
Yeah.
It was a joke, Joycey. Slag. He's like a child at times.
Yeah,
Joey.
mate. Stop it, Joe, or I'll tell KUGAN about your Transformer pyjamas that don't fit you.
How's life?
Good, mate. Really good. Everything's going all right. Stable's doing well. All my fighters are active. I'm moving down south very soon. So
Whereabouts?
Sorry.
Okay. Ish. No, you're all right.
I felt like a gush. I mean, it's the aircon.
No, it's the aircon.
The aircon.
Okay. How did you see the fight playing out between Joe and Brian? Honestly.
Honestly.
Yes. Be as honest as you was with me about 10 minutes ago.
I think Joe Joyce. I think it depends. If Brian Jennings comes out and he tries to fight Joe, he's getting knocked out very quick. If he tries to box and move and scurry and try and implement that kind of jab and move kind of style, it might take him a few rounds, but ultimately he will go into a shell and Joe Joyce will take him out in spectacular fashion. I really do believe that, because I know it's a cliche, everyone says, oh, the camp's gone so well, but I've never seen Joe so happy as well. Like, he's happy in camp, he's very comfortable with Adam Booth, good bunch of lads in there, Mick Condon, Joe gets along very well with him. And ultimately, his performance is coming back. He's looked sensational in sparring, and I just think Joe is going to do a real number on him.
Obviously, you or Joe or the team are not overlooking Saturday, and I know you're fully focused on that.
You can't, can you, KUGAN? You can't overlook somebody of his pedigree. It's impossible, because you've seen what happens when people look over fights. You slip the potential banana skins. There's no fight past this fight right now.
But where do you kind of see his route to the world title? Where do you see that?
Well, you look at what's happening now with Joshua fighting Ruiz again. There's going to be two mandatories. I think there's going to be the WBO and the IBF, or the WBA and the IBF. Two immediate mandatories. Those belts are going to become vacant, aren't they? So Joe's highly ranked with the WBA. He's above #1. So he's going to get a pop at one of them sooner or later. So he's just got to keep winning, keep looking good, and the opportunity, when the opportunity arises, it's going to be go time.
Are you saying it's more likely to be a vacant title than actually specifically
target
100%,
because Wilder's going to be tied up with Fury twice, so that's going to be 2 fights there. Joshua and Ruiz, nobody knows who's going to win that, so all kind of depends what happens there. Where Joshua can get his belts back, but I think even Joshua, the belts are going to become vacant regardless.
What Joe will fight, what, I'm assuming after this, maybe, twice before, another 2 times?
Depends how it goes, but yeah, of course, we want to keep him active, because there's no point sitting around waiting for a fight to happen. It's like, look at Dillian Whyte. He's doing it's risky, but he's staying active, isn't he? He's staying active, he's getting paid. Why sit on the sidelines waiting for something that might never happen? Got to keep active.
I agree. What do you think about Dylan's fight with Oscar Rivas?
It's a hard fight. I've seen Oscar Rivas. I've watched him a fair few times. I have followed his career, so it's a very hard fight, because Dylan doesn't really tend to do amazing against people like he's similar dimensions to him. But I do think Dillian Whyte's still the favourite, because I do think he's a monster. Dillian Whyte, he really is. He's got big balls, got a tremendous left hook, and I think that's going to be if it comes down to who wants it more, Dillian Whyte's going to win the fight. It's still a potential banana skin for him to have, and kudos for him to take the fight, because he doesn't need to.
No, exactly. I think that's the point.
He really doesn't. He needs a lot of credit.
He doesn't need to. Yeah.
He needs a lot of credit, Dillian Whyte.
What have you made of all the shenanigans with him and Tyson Fury over the last couple of days?
It's just Tyson's Tyson, and Tyson says one thing and then says another thing the following week. He just, however he wakes up and feels that day, he's going to say what he wants. 1 minute he was like, I hope Dylan Whyte gets a title shot. Next minute he's like, haha, you can't get a title shot, which is, it's a great fight if it happens. Tyson's stylistically wrong for everyone, but it's a great fight if it happens. Imagine the build up to that fight. It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? But they're both on different TV networks, but who knows? It could happen, because I don't think Dylan Whyte's tied up with anyone, is he? I think he's on a fight-by-fight deal with Eddie, so who knows if the money's there. But again, Tyson's going to fight Deontay Wilder, I think, because I think Tyson's going to beat Deontay. My personal opinion, I do think he'll beat him on points, but then he's got there'll be a rematch clause in it. He's going to fight an immediate rematch with Deontay, so when's the fight going to happen?
They could end up fighting in a car park.
Listen, don't rule that out either. I wouldn't rule that out. I'd like to see that on you. I'd like to see
live
that.
Stream it on IFL.
Oh my life! Imagine the views on that. But I wouldn't want to fight Dylan Whyte in a car park.
I wouldn't really want to fight either of them
No,
in a car park,
100%. But it's just where Dylan, gang, let's fight. gang, let's fight. But ultimately, they're both two top heavyweights. Look, if they're going to fight in the ring, for God's sake, don't be doing stupid shit like that. And
but those type of pair of them,
volatile characters, yeah.
If they were to run into each other in kind of,
I do think something would happen, like.
I think something would happen as well.
Yeah, because they're
quite
both
worryingly, but I do believe something.
You would be there with
happen.
your camera, won't you? If you flip it,
you'll
be straight on there.
To be honest, yeah, as much as I get called this view whore, I really wouldn't want to be there.
It'd be awkward, wouldn't it?
It would be awkward,
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it really would.
Could you imagine that? Like,
whose side you on? No! Whose side you on? Oh my God!
Choose now.
You'd want both of them on your side in some kind of brawl situation, though, wouldn't you? You want Dylan Whyte on your team, wouldn't you? But ultimately, they're both good guys. You know what I mean? They're both good guys. But like, flipping heck, yeah. As you say, like, imagine how awkward that'd be. Stood there, like, trying to watch the fight. That'd be at school. You know, there's a fight at school. Like, you're like, oh no. But who knows?
But like you said, I mean, look, listen, all jokes aside, if that fight was to happen, I'm sure the British public
get behind it,
lap that up. But realistically, it's not going to happen in the near future.
No, it's not. It's a fight for down the line. But like the way Tyson is, Tyson could win his next 3 fights, all super fights. AJ could resurrect his career and he fight Deontay Wilder, then Joshua. Tyson retires. It's all about motivation, I think, for him.
Do you think Tyson could retire at any point?
Yes, 100%. Because the way Tyson is, like, I've always said this. I've always said this from people who say, "Oh, it's because he's your friend." It's not. It's because I've seen him up close in person. I think the heavyweights are here at the moment, and Tyson's there. And you got to think, when Tyson came back, he came back from 30 stone, fought two cans. Do you know what I mean? 2 heavy bags, beat them up, and then he went straight in for Wilder. So Tyson's only going to get better, and he has only got better. Like that performance against Schwartz, even though, listen, Joe Gorman and DeBar would do the same thing to Schwartz. I really do believe that. Tyson still looked very good. He's faster, he's sharper. So, but again, with Wilder, he's got power. There, I think he's the most ferocious puncher in heavyweight recent history. Maybe one of the biggest punchers of all time, in my opinion. So you can never rule him out of that fight. But Tyson took his best, didn't he? And got up off the floor and outboxed him comfortably. I don't know, but I think Tyson's still the best premier heavyweight in the world at the moment. Things can change.
How realistic is the winner of Dubois and Gorman for Joe this year?
But the thing is, right? Okay, I understand the public will probably say after the fight, and Frank will probably say, let's make that fight. But ultimately, what Bryant said is true. Joe against Jennings is a bigger fight than Gorman Dubois on a world scene.
I agree with that.
But it's a fact, isn't it? It's not. I'm not just saying that because Joe's my guy. I'm saying it's the biggest fight on the card. Worldwide, it's the biggest fight. So why would Jennings or Joe, the winner of that fight, go down and say, right, I want to fight for a British title? I get it, because the British fans would want it. But on a world scene, Joe's mandatory for a world title, a European title. So realistically, if the money's right, and if the money's right, then there's a price on everything. There really is. If the money's, but we're looking for belts. That's what we're in heavyweight. That's what Joe's in heavyweight boxing for.
Got any new signings coming? You've always got something coming.
No, not really, man. I've just signed George Fox.
George Fox, yeah, the
George Fox.
heavyweight.
I'm really excited with MTK. We're doing something with MTK there. Really excited about him. We're looking to get him out. He was meant to fight in September, but he got an illness, so we're going to get him out in, as I say, possibly September, early October, and then I'm really, really excited about him. To be honest, he's like a hidden gem. Really do think.
Son of obviously.
Yeah, Don Charles.
yeah.
I really got high hopes for him. And we've got Guido out in possibly September. So Cody's going to be fighting in September, hopefully. Look, we want the Zach Keeley fight, but I don't think he wants any part of Cody, which is like fair enough. Because if I was advising him, I wouldn't want to fight Cody either. But it's a good domestic fight. Cody wants to be in big fights now, so we're trying to get him in one for September.
Okay. What else you got to tell us?
Well, I mean, speak to me. Did you see him trying to give me a stick against Psycho? It's gone a bit old now, wasn't it?
But he did do you again with the comment.
Yeah, he did. But at the same time, though, like, he's kind of reusing the same things, like wearing the same T-shirt. You know, it's shrunk in the wash. Like, it's getting old and boring now. He's got to try and think of something else.
You're like a little Jack Russell, aren't you? Like just
Don't know
doing
about
that.
Don't know about that, but we're gonna see, aren't we? But I genuinely think he's a worried man. He's a worried man that's going to get mowed over.
Okay.
Joe Joyce coming, juggernaut straight through him.
Simpleton juggernaut.
The simpleton juggernaut.
As Joe, by the way, referred to himself as.
He referred to him as a simpleton.
So. But
Joe Joyce, I mean, he alluded to how slow he is. He's going to get knocked out in slow motion.
Okay. And you'll be there, won't you?
Like Mortal Kombat. You know, it's Adam Booth at the ringside. Finish him. That's what's going to happen.
There's some kind of comments about that, Mike Perez.
Comparing Mike Perez to Joe Joyce.
But he wasn't really comparing the two.
No, he's talent. I understand that, because when Joe,
from Adam Booth's perspective.
Do you know this is the truth? This is when Joe sparred Mike Perez. I went to Cork when Joe sparred Mike Perez, and I will say what happened in the sparring. Mike was sitting in the car with Joe, and he's an interesting character. You met Mike?
Yes, of course.
He's a really interesting character. He was telling about all the struggles he's had when he was growing up. He's a really interesting character. He said to Joe, let's have a tech spar. The first thing Mike Perez done was lift the shot up from his boot and punch Joe straight in the face. And it was there was no jabs thrown in the fight. There was no clinches. They had an absolute brawl in Cork. And they had to be. Darren Chan was there at the time when he was with me, like, because Joe didn't have a coach at the time. Joe had just signed with David, and they may as well have gone to the back part of the garden and had a fist fight. What they were doing with each other, it was outrageous, the spars they were having. But listen, comparing Joe and Mike Perez is like comparing the Benidorm and the Maldives. If he's banking on Joe being anything like Mike Perez, he's in massive trouble. Look at him over there, you can hear me. That chain that he's got on is going to go green if he gets that in the shower. You can hear me.
Hello. I'm worried. I'd love him just to jump over her and just see what happens.
No, he won't, mate. He's a nice guy, Brian. He's a good guy, Brian.
All right, Sam.
You can definitely hear me, though.
Have you got anything else you'd like to add? This is like a...
Stop avoiding me interviewing the KUGAN. Honestly, like, it's not fair. Like the fans have called for it. Sidecar Sam, they wanted an interview with me and you wouldn't give it them.
Can you get my phone, please, my friend?
Oscar, listen, Pete. Don't you be a sidecar. Don't go and get that phone.
No,
don't get that phone.
He's not a T-boy, but I'm just...
He's a T-boy.
He's not a T-boy. You're Joe's T-boy, though.
Listen, you can say it, mate. I own a company, mate. I can be a few pieces T-boys. I'm happy to be that. Have that label. You can't troll someone. I'll troll myself.
I'm not trolling you. I'm just going to put out...
It's impossible.
Do you want me... I'll actually screenshot the messages where you were telling me you were too busy for me. I'm busy. You're too busy.
I was busy in the lazy river in Vegas. I was busy. No, I didn't. Joe, something. I kept quite a low profile when I was out there. I saw Bermain Stavern when I was there. I had to run past him.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Do you see me want a rematch with Joe?
Oh, did he?
Listen to me. He had an interview yesterday. I saw that. He said he wanted an interview. I sent Bermain a really nice message, after that fight. He blanked me.
But I don't know why anyone would want to blank you.
No, I don't know either. I'm flipping. I'm a nice guy. Well, I think I am anyway. Try to be.
Sidecar, nice one.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
I love the way you said your mum called you that as well.
Yeah.